Hey viewers, welcome to Real Astrology. My God, my voice is like full of so much of joy today. I don't know how to control myself. My laughter, my happiness is at its peak because my guru is here. He is the one who actually, made me, introduced me to astrological world in a proper manner. Honestly speaking, Dr. Rao also laid the foundation, but he's the one who actually built up the building, over it. So I'm really, really honored, blessed. No words to express. I don't think so. Words can actually be sufficient to, speak about the man himself, who's there on my channel, my guru, Prashant Trivedi ji. Thank you so much for being here, for accepting my by honoring and accepting my, invite. Thank you so
Yes,
much, sir. Thank you so much.
I mean, it's nice to be here. It's nice to like always. It's good to clear up things for people and you know bring clarity to a situation. And since we're talking about Vedic astrology, it'll be good to bring more clarity to this topic and
Yes,
subject as a whole, because a lot of people all around the world are getting interested in it. So this is a good time, and more clarity should be there in the topic when you know so that in future time where a lot of people are learning, that they don't learn the wrong things and they don't see the subject in a wrong manner. Like,
sir, please enlighten us. Please enlighten us on this vast subject. Your knowledge is like nobody can. It's incomparable. I know you have so much. You have written so many books. You have so much, jnana on this subject. Please share, impart your knowledge. What do you want to speak on today, sir?
Vanita, it's just this, that the first thing is like when people say Vedic astrology, okay, so
Yes.
then the word Vedic becomes important, okay, because it's a Vedic science, okay.
Right.
Now, so when people say Vedic, they have to understand that when you use that word, you have to understand it is like an ancient system
Hmm.
which had more to do with life as a whole. Okay,
Right.
like how do you live your life? Like how do you exist as a being or as a human being? You know, on this particular plane of existence. So what to do here and everything. It's a whole lifestyle, and Vedic astrology, jyotish, was part of that lifestyle or learning that thing. So like the rishis, like Parashar and all those beings, the way they were living and the way they were uh, being was like close to nature and in accordance with the laws, multiversal laws. So then their knowledge, that's why it was different from the people of right now
True.
who who learn this subject, who try to learn this subject, who try to like teach this subject.
Hmm.
Okay, so my basic point to people would be like, before you go into this, try to learn other Vedic things and try to get close to nature. Okay, try to connect with nature. Okay, before you start going into the science. Okay, because otherwise you will get confused. Because there are thousands of things right now, because on internet, social media, YouTube, there are thousands of opinions, divergent opinions. There's all kinds of strange things, and you will get sort of confused
True.
by the whole thing. Okay, what applies, what does not apply, what is true, what is not true, what is right, what is not right. So that sense of logic, that sense of common sense
Right.
which is required, will come by connection with nature, and knowing the Vedic thing more in as a holistic science, not just Vedic astrology. For example, right now Vastu people are there,
Hmm.
and there are people who are doing other kind of things in numerology, and people are doing different things. But the Vedic astrology is connected to all of those sciences. It's not disconnected from that. So people have to understand that they have to take it more holistically, the whole thing, and they should get themselves in a condition to learn it. Actually, there's some discipline you require with your body and yourself and your diet and your mind and your way of being, you
Right.
know, to be actually be able to learn this science. Okay, so it's not just a pseudo intellectual exercise,
Hmm.
because what we're talking about here is like Jyotish is like all this whole setup here, the
Right.
program,
Hmm.
the whole program of this whole universe, like how this thing is designed. Okay, so it's a high level thing. It's not
Absolutely.
uh,
Absolutely.
it's we're talking about the whole program and understanding the whole program. So first people have to get to that level where they can be psychologically sorted, within themselves to be able to understand this without any bias or without any partiality, without any, you know, sense of, so that's what I think people need to do first to learn this science, because otherwise what happens is like some people say I like this or I don't like this or this kind of thing, and this is not based on your liking or not liking this science. It's an actual real science which is based on what is, what the reality is, what these things are. It's nothing to do with what you like or don't like, or your personal preferences or non-preferences.
Right, absolutely. My internet is a little unstable, so just you can just go on
So
speaking.
people have to kind of thing. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the connection went a little bit. Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, it will be off and on. It will be going and coming because I'm right on the beach, so there's a lot of
Okay.
connected with the nature.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I mean that's good. I mean, and having a own personal discipline, you know, that's very important, because a lot of people who are getting into astrology right now, they don't have any personal discipline. Okay, self-discipline. Okay, so and then they create chaos within the subject, and it's up to people to whom, when they're listening to someone or anyone, they have to see how that person is, what their lifestyle is, how they're living in the first place, what the public and the masses need to pay attention to these things. You know, they can't just, you know, like blindly go into these kind of, because this science is, it's a sacred science.
Right,
And
right.
it should be treated with that respect and that sacredness. You know, it's not something which is to be played around with, or like, you know, like you know, anyone, oh, I think that, or I, it's not like that, you know.
Yes, it's
These
not.
laws are
It's a
made by,
serious. It's a serious thing. You know, it's a serious
yeah,
subject.
these are
Yeah.
laws of Brahma, these are laws of the rishis, these are laws made by these higher beings. It's not like a joke
Yes.
which, you know, which you can just make up anything. Like you were telling me, people in forums are saying all kinds of things, and there's a lot of negative atmosphere because people are fighting with each other and all kinds of things are happening. And that is because there is no proper knowledge and there's no basics. You know,
True.
they have no proper basics, like
And
in Jyotish.
mostly the youth, I think. Mostly the youth.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is that right now people listen to a few channels, or like they read a few books, and then they think that they know Vedic astrology now. Like, so everybody is an expert, you know. So now the experts fight amongst each other because all experts have different views
True.
on everything. So it is, and the way the learning happens in this age, that's not the way learning happened in the ancient time. You know, like if there was a disciple of a guru, like a rishi, then they will live with them and learn under them, and uh, get a full holistic picture of the whole thing. It's not like right now where people just learn from here and there in the social media and just whatever is written here and there, and that might be true or might not be true. They have no idea. That information might be false, that information might be real. They have no idea how to discern, like,
Absolutely.
between the information. So that it has become like a more of a joke right now, the way the whole thing is. Like, it doesn't come under the Vedic way right now, Vedic astrology. It
Right.
has become, and it is being taught in a sort of Western sort of format, like sort of like where, you know, it's a school sort of format, which doesn't suit Vedic astrology anyways. Personally, when I was learning in 90s and stuff myself, I went on my own inner work. I did my inner work. I didn't go by the books or anything, because the books which were out there, they had a lot of strange things written in them, you know, and I obviously could not relate to them. You know, like in 90s, the kind of books which were there, and what they said about different things, and they had strange things. I won't take names. So, but there were a lot of whatever books were available, they were saying strange things. So, that is not applicable to this day and age. Neither is it any kind of truth in it, and it created like a medieval sort of view of Vedic astrology, which was not how the ancients intended it, and neither does it apply to the modern context. So
Right.
so we have
So
to,
true. So true.
yeah, yeah. So people have to get out of the medieval sense of Vedic astrology, which is what is prevalent right now. And I mean, and youngsters also need to like first understand that they have to take care of themselves, okay, and take responsibility for themselves, and then only go into science when you're ready. You know, you can't just be living any which way and just like that and just start doing this. There's a certain level of discipline required, which was there in gurukuls in ancient times.
Yes.
Okay, but now it's not there. So it has to be self-imposed.
Right, right.
It has to be self-imposed. If there's no teacher to impose that discipline on you, you have to impose it on yourself by yourself. You know, so it has to be self-imposed, but you have to know that discipline is required.
Yes.
Without that Saturn, you know, nothing else will work.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
Saturn has to come
Yes.
like first, because it's in the human body, it's the spine, right? The backbone.
Right.
Saturn rules the backbone. Okay, so the backbone, if you don't have a backbone or something, you can't even stand, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's the backbone, you know. So that's discipline thing which comes first, and that is what everyone should be talking about first, you know, and which is the least talked about thing in any forum.
True.
You know, no one associates
Actually,
Vedic astrology with
discipline.
Yeah.
I think discipline works everywhere. Like if you are not disciplined, I think there is no progress. That's the basic foundation actually. If like the child grows and then goes to the school, so it's like step by step, you know, and it's all disciplined, and goes for work, gets married, goes for work. Everything is so well designed actually, you know. So
and the thing is, people are not disciplined with their body right now, and that's why there are so many diseases and stuff. Okay,
absolutely.
So now you can't blame it on the chart that if you're having diseases, because it's your lifestyle and the way you live and stuff. Like, I mean, like, and that's so people don't, and it has become a blame game sort of thing, you know, like, okay, it's just in my chart, that's why it's happening to me. You know, it's not what I'm doing right now. Okay, so if somebody goes to a market and eats bad food, I mean, anybody is going to get sick. Doesn't matter what the chart.
Absolutely.
You know, doesn't matter what the dasha, doesn't matter what the transit, that person is going to get sick.
We know we are eating the wrong kind of food.
Yes, Vanita. So like Vedic astrology should not become a tool as a whole to put the blame onto the grahas or the big, which is again your past karmas only. Even that is the sum total of your past karmas only. It's nothing which is coming from somewhere else.
Right.
You know. So and people should become more action oriented, like that they should feel that their present action right now matters more.
Right.
Than the like the dasha can be anything, but you can do the right thing right now. Who is stopping you from doing the right thing right now? There's no graha or dasha which will stop you from doing the right action right now, because grahas give you tendencies, it gives you mental suggestion. Okay, now you are the decider whether you're going to act by it or you're not going to act by it. You decide.
Right.
Graha is just like a voice.
There are people who are not following astrology. They are not, ardent fans of astrology also, but still, you know, they're leading their life. They are disciplined. They are doing well in their lives also.
Yes. Because the point is like, finally, you are the decision maker.
Exactly.
Of the different thoughts in your head. So grahas can give you different impulses and thoughts, but finally, you are the one who decides whether I'm going to act on it.
You're the driver of this car.
Yeah, you're the driver. Yeah. So you are the decision maker. Okay. So grahas maximum can influence you in that kind of way, where they give you certain suggestion. Your thought will come to your mind, and you know, and this kind of thing, which can work either way for you. You know. So that's the thing. So people have to take the whole thing into context, and the basics and the foundations of that thing has to be very clear. You know, in jyotish. You know, for everything. Like right now, people don't even know what the basic like houses mean.
No.
Even. And they are practicing, like they're seeing people's charts and they're practicing it professionally. I mean, so it's gotten to this kind of situation. And
I don't know I should say this or not when you mentioned this. I'm so sorry. I'm interrupting you again and again. But you know, there are some things, you know, you get reminded of. You know, I got like from Bharti Vidya Bhavan days, I just got reminded, somebody who had joined with me, say within a
Yes.
6-month span, there was a
Yes.
visiting card ready. And he gave it to
Yes.
me, saying that now I am a professional astrologer.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
was like,
Yes.
wow,
Yes.
that's
Yes. That's the thing, it should not, I mean, the thing for Vedic astrology should be that person should be sincere about learning it as
absolutely
a sacred science, not monetizing it immediately or trying to make a occupation or a business or profession out of it. That should not be the thing. Point
right.
is to be like understanding that I'm learning this science and sincerely, and that thing. So because these days everything becomes that thing, people just try to make money out of everything, and then they don't care what happens. And it's a lot of negative karma when you actually speak and tell people things
Right.
when you don't know and you
Absolutely.
are saying the wrong things. That's a very negative karma you're creating for yourself. So people have to understand. So before they practice jyotish, this kind of basics should be clear to them, like what is karma, what is negative karma, what is a positive karma, and these kind of things have to be known by an astrologer. I mean, otherwise they themselves putting themselves into trouble. Forget about other people. Like, I mean, so there has to be all this sense and clarity.
That is the basic
Yeah.
foundation of astrology, that
Yes.
whatever you convey will
Yeah.
become your karma. If you are
Yeah.
conveying something without being not literate about that subject, it
Yeah.
applies to all the subjects. But if you're not literate yourself, how will you impart that to others? And you're holding that position of that power, that you are going to predict. So
Yes, 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 yes. And the same thing, like, I mean, if an electrician comes to your house
yeah.
and that person doesn't know much about electricity and it doesn't know the thing properly, and it'll come and to connect the wires. Afterwards, there'll be a big short in the house, and
Mm,
people can
very
get
good
injured
example.
and all kinds of things can happen. The house can burn and stuff like that. Then who will be responsible? Like, who is so? I mean, any job and thing like that, people cannot just pretend to know something
True.
and not actually know it, you know
Mm.
and that can create problems anywhere. Like, so and in this kind of thing, it's even more because people take the astrologer's word seriously and they base their life's decisions upon it, so some
So
people are
you
telling
mean
you,
to
oh,
say
you
that
are
they
good
should,
for.
first of all, the first step is discipline.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first step is
Yeah.
discipline. The second step
Yeah.
is that literate
Yeah.
yourself. You
Yeah.
don't just educate
Yeah.
yourself completely
Yes. and,
before
and
going.
and do not speak more than what you know. Like, I mean, for example, people are telling people's profession what will be good for you. Now,
Mm.
that is not a very easy thing to do from a chart. Okay, so people are just blatantly saying to people, oh, you'll do well in medical. Okay, and
Mm.
then the person goes in medical line, and then they get when they go to the sort of college, and then they find that they get dizzy by the sight of blood.
Mm.
Okay, so now this person has gone to the medical on the advice of that thing, and then they have find that they cannot complete that,
Mm.
and so they're wasting 2-3 years of their lives for no rhyme or reason, you know so
Mm.
so just one thing like that can have this kind of impact. So people are speaking much more than what they know, because just because the public demands that kind of answer
Right.
from them,
Right.
and they are giving whatever they can, like, okay, your sixth orders and 10th, you can be a doctor. I mean,
Mm.
I mean, I mean, this
Oh God, this is so true. This is so true.
yes. So I mean, this kind of thing should not be there. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
strangest kind of thing.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the kind of thing I'm talking about as a whole, that people are taking themselves, they create negative karma for the other person, for themselves.
Themselves.
I mean, and it should be serious. People should take this seriously. Do not do these kind of things. You
Yeah,
know,
true.
I'm just basically giving a warning to all the practitioners, all the
Mm.
students, and all the practitioners of Jyotish that please stick to at least what you can be sure about,
True.
and more than 100% sure about. Do
Yes.
not, I mean, that's why some people who just give psychological things, advice or something based on the nakshatras or whatever, that's even better, because at least they're sticking to that and they're not going to make predictions
Hmm.
because they cannot,
Hmm.
you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a better thing to do. Like, rather than like pretend to know more than what you do in anything. And obviously a lot of people don't know anything as a whole, and they're very confused because like how the grahas are, like like a graha is there and they find it, like they say okay, it's exalted in Rashi, okay, so they think it'll give good result. Then they say it's debilitated in Navamsh, now it has lost its power. But then they'll look at its bal and they'll say, oh, bal is strong, okay. So then they say, okay, like bal is strong, but it has reached mrit avastha in that thing. The avastha is mrit. Okay, so it's dead. So how can a strong
Ashtakvar.
bala?
Now we come Ashtakvar.
Yeah, Ashtakvar. So now it's dead, but it is strong. So what does dead and strong mean? And it's exalted and debilitated both. It's strong, but it's that thing. So they don't know what this graha is finally going to do. They are totally confused about the graha. So these kind of rules which have been made are there to confuse people because they don't know actual science of jyotish. It's like a technical thing. To me, astrology is like a technical subject, and it's not. It doesn't work
Yes,
like
you have
this.
the engineering background, so you are,
Yeah.
well equipped with that astronomical part, I'm sure.
Yeah, and it's a technical subject even in prediction and how the things work, and that depends on the nakshatras and the sublords, and there are a lot of things which how a graha gives results, which has nothing to do with all these strange kind of rules they have made up from the medieval.
Yes.
Things, and they don't know how to use these things.
No, the rule
In
set are proper, but they are not being used properly. Like suppose Argala also, people have started to misuse that, saying that, oh, the Veda you have not used. People will just comment, you have not used the Veda properly, you have not used the Argala.
And the Bindu and Rekha. And a lot of these editions are not from rishis. They're editions from the last 2,000-3,000 years.
Absolutely.
Okay, by different beings in last 2,000-3,000 years, which are just which are not proven, not real. So if something is written in Fal Deepika, doesn't mean it's true or real, because
That's what,
the
sir,
author of Fal Deepika.
yes, please speak about that. Yes, tell us more about this. That what is actually from the classics.
I mean, that's where I find that from the classic, even Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra, right now, what we have, everything in it is not from Rishi Parashar. Okay.
Oh, is it?
Okay. Yeah, the thing is that because a lot of things Parashar would not say because he's a Rishi. Rishi doesn't speak in the kind of language which is there, some of it.
Yeah. That's an interpretation, translation, yeah.
And translation also, and there's some shlokas even have been added later.
Okay.
Even the shlokas are not from Rishi, because I mean, it's like this. When you know the poetry of somebody, if you know the poetry of Tulsidas or you know the poetry of somebody, then you know just by their poetry that this is that person. Okay. So now they don't speak like that. Okay. So they're not gonna write like that. If any poet is there, even if it's Wordsworth or anyone, Keats, everyone has their style. So each Rishi would have their style of, and a lot of the things are not in their style. So one sentence is like this, and the other shlok is totally.
Yes, definitely. You can't relate. Yes.
Yeah, because the thing is, in those days they didn't write these things. Parashar never wrote. Parashar is just speaking to his disciples.
Yes.
And somebody is notating it, and at some point people wrote it down, some of the things. Because in the whole Vedic thing was Shruti and Smriti.
Yes. Shruti.
Okay, listening and learning, like direct oral transmission. Okay, it was not book. It was not a bookish thing. Okay, so when it has come into actual textual form in later times, it's not the real thing. It's not what Parashar has said. Like, so no one should think that Parashar Hora Shastra, everything is said by Parashar only. No one should think that first. Okay, that it is the absolute word, because that can be added later. There has been last 3,000 years to add anything you want to it. And a lot of things which Parashar said are not in it. Like, I would say 99% of what he spoke.
Right.
Is not in that text.
I get that, yes.
So that text is 1% of what Parashar said, and that too, a lot of other things which he didn't say within that.
I swear.
So people have to be very careful. That's why I say that when they connect with nature, because Prakriti, nature was the same at that time, nature is the same right now. So if you connect with that, it'll give you the common sense to understand what is what. Like if this is the reality or this is the truth or this is not the truth. Okay. Even when my nakshatra book came out, okay, in 2003, okay, then people have had last 16 years, 15, 16 years to work out whether those things work or not. You apply, you check whether that thing, whether this nakshatra works like that or not, when, or these things which I have said apply to it
And then,
or
yes.
not, you know. So it's actual application and observation. And where do you observe? You observe in nature as well. Okay, like whether storms happen more on Adra, or you know, if you go on different nakshatras, then you'll see what happens in that thing, and you have to observe nature.
True.
Because finally the stars
Hmm.
and these nakshatras, everything, they are in the sky, they're in nature only, you know.
Right.
And a lot of people have never seen them,
Hmm.
and they don't know. Even if you ask them what are these stars in the sky, a lot of astrologers don't even know. Majority of them cannot even tell you
True.
where what is. So
Even
then they don't have
I have observed, but like obviously when it is too much of a bright star, Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury, only then. Otherwise, I have not been able to observe much, honestly.
yeah. So then you don't establish any personal relationship with these things,
You're right.
you know. Like, so like if you look at nakshatras yourself in the night sky and stuff, you get a personal direct connection and that thing which helps you, like which is necessary
Yes.
for going into the science. So that's what I say, like to people, to do basics first, you know, like to touch the earth every day, ground their feet every day, 5-10 minutes, look at the sky, see the nakshatras, observe them. You have to do these basics
True.
to be able to become better
Yes.
at this science, and to actually be able to learn it in the first
Yes.
place,
Then
to
you're
be able to
receptive.
learn this
You're
science.
receptive to so many other things. Then
Yeah,
you're
yeah, you
rising.
can't cut off nature completely and then try to practice this.
True.
Then you are going into a zone of complete lack of common sense, which is called natural sense and
Right.
common sense.
Right.
So right now, majority of astrologers are functioning without any common sense. Okay, and that's a very dangerous trend.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the youngsters who are coming up right now, who are very young, and they want to learn this, they have to understand this, that they have to start from a basics, and they have to start from the connecting with nature, and they have to start from that basic foundation in
Right.
order to learn the science properly, and to be able to tell the milk from water, and you know,
Yes.
yeah,
Definitely.
doodh ka doodh and pani ka pani, like, you know, you have to
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you have to have that ability, like because otherwise you will get very, very confused. And you know, because all these opinions will come, and you know, and just people will say, oh, some people say Rao in third house gives this, it's very good. Some people say Rao in third house is very bad, this gives this and this, and you will just hear 100 of these things and you'll be totally confused.
Actually, it makes so
Yeah,
much of sense, when you
yeah,
said
yeah,
connect with the nature. it
yeah,
it is, that is spirituality, actually, reading the
yeah,
texts, the old classic texts, and with due respect, of course, with the we
yeah,
have Gita also, we have
yeah,
all
yeah,
the other religious texts, but
yeah,
if you are not connecting with the nature, as you said, then
yeah.
this I don't think so this astrology will be complete.
No,
Actually,
and nothing is complete. I
you
mean,
have to
your
see
life
the
also.
sun, you have to see the moon phases,
Yeah,
you have to connect with
yeah,
the, like, I see the tides, and I come to know, like, okay, today is low tide, today is high tide. This is something that I
yes,
can observe from
yeah,
here. So,
yeah, yeah. And jyotish should be able to tell anything from just looking at the thing. If they looks at the east, it should be able to tell, like, what that thing is. It should be able to make the panchang in their own brain, like just by seeing the stars and by knowing where what is. Like, I mean, that should be a minimum
yes,
requirement
yes,
for being a jyotishian. But the thing is that right now people just have the software, so everybody can just tap into the software and get a chart very quickly. So it has become more easy and accessible, so people have become like sort of spoiled in that way. They don't think they need any of that. They just think they need this data, and then they'll work through the data, and that's it, you know. But that's not how it functions, you know, because like a lot of people are doing so many wrong things, like they're seeing the houses from the Rasi chart, and you know, like, and because they don't know. I mean, because in Sanskrit, what Rashi means sign. Like, it doesn't mean
No, no, actually,
how?
the clients
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
even my clients who come to me, I tell them not to look into their chart if you don't know about it, completely,
yeah,
because they
yeah,
have picked up from here and there in the YouTube, and of course the Google, thanks to the Google.
yeah,
So, you see, we are also using this media, I will not say anything against this social media, but we are
yeah,
we are supposed to use it in the right way rather than,
yes,
misusing it. So what
yes,
is
yes,
happening, sir? Like people who have, it's like half baked cake, in front of you.
yes,
So they
yes,
are just coming. Okay, madam, you said you are saying my lagna is Cancer, but my lagna is Gemini.
yes,
It is
yes,
Gemini
yes,
in my software. So
yes,
things are. If you are aware of the degrees, if you're aware of the
yes,
degrees, that basic thing, then you will not question that. You will not be coming and putting that question up. So
yes,
picking up from the YouTube, even I tell, don't watch me also, don't watch my videos also, because they are very general videos. I say
yes,
this
yes,
to my clients. Believe you in me, sir,
yes,
I always say that, because
yes,
these general things will lead to so much of other confusion. It will lead to
yes,
confusion.
yes, yes, yes.
It is
And yes, and when you said half baked, I would say it's hardly baked.
hardly baked.
Like,
You are
yes,
absolutely right. Now I start using that term even more.
hardly baked. Like it's not even like at the that thing. So I mean, obviously, people get very that thing, and a lot of wrong notions set in people's minds just because they've heard this or that from there, or and software also, they don't need know how to actually organize their software, what enamsha to set or what that thing they have, they don't know the settings of that thing as well,
No,
because it has a lot
at
of
times they
settings.
don't even do the daylight saving, and then the
Yeah,
chart.
yeah, and so there are a lot of there are a lot of settings in a software, like which people need to know and
Yeah,
apply and stuff. It's
exactly.
not just a blind like
Hmm.
fill it and just that thing, press the button, like. So
And you
it's
get
not
all
like that.
those written, the material is there, life predictions and stuff, everything comes, and then they say, oh, my life is ruined, I'm doomed. That
Yes,
is also
yes,
very.
yes. I mean, that's also there because again, all of this is very crazy, because the whole concept of learning anything, people
Hmm.
have to understand it's not a joke. Like
Yes.
everything is treated like a joke. Like Jim thing, it's not a joke. I mean, if
Hmm.
being an electrician requires some study or some understanding clear things, then same way being jyotish requires even much more than anything to do with amplifiers, like even your mobile phones or whatever. It is a proper science.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to treat it like that, and you can't treat it in this kind of a way, and it will always create a lot of psychological problems for people.
Casual.
You know,
People have become too
it's, yeah,
casual. Yeah.
casual and psychological problems for people. Like you said, people say, "Oh, I'm doomed now." Somebody said, "Oh, you are a bad dasha now. Now my 15 years are gone." You know,
Saturn
like yeah,
Mahadasha, people will definitely say, now I'm
yeah,
doomed.
yeah,
They will
doomed.
definitely.
19 years of that thing.
My
You know,
phase is
if
totally
Jupiter
bad.
is coming, people are told like, "Oh, 16 years of good time." Okay,
Yes.
yeah, and I mean that even though the person might become a beggar in that time, but that doesn't, like, but they'll just say
I
16 years.
tell you, this is so
Yeah,
true. This is so
yeah,
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So first, this thing is of like natural benefic and malefic. So they think natural benefic will always give good results, and
Good
malefic means bad results,
results.
which is
Yes.
a medieval view of Jyotish, like
Yes.
Jim saying. There are a lot of people in Saturn period who get very good results, and in Mars and Rahu and Ketu, and they get very good results, and people in Venus and Jupiter and Moon and Mercury get bad results. So it's not it's not like that. Like
No, it's not like that at all. Please,
yeah,
everybody, please
yeah,
watch this video and understand what sir is saying.
yes. So we have to be like, yeah, so we have to like like first treat it properly, and just like even the way people are treating their own bodies, they're not treating them your own bodies with respect. Okay, if you don't treat your own body with respect, then you have diseases and all kinds of problems and stuff are happening now. So the same way they treat this science too, you know so it is I think it starts with the human body. Like if you treat your body well, and if you start doing the basics properly with it, if your diet is good, and you connected with nature, then you automatically become a different kind of individual, a different kind of being, who is more ready to learn anything,
Yes, you're more
including
receptive
Jyotish.
then. You're more receptive.
You're more receptive. You are a being which is ready to become any, and then a being who does not run away from discipline. The word discipline should not make you go into a negative frame of mind, that discipline is something bad, or it's something you know, like it's like teacher at school giving you a stick, or
Yes.
like,
Yeah, it should not be like that also.
yeah. It should not have that kind of connotation. It should be something which you are ready to do for your own self. Like you should be disciplined about your own body and stuff, and with your own hygiene and own that thing, which should be a normal thing, you know, which is not so normal anymore, you know. So like, so people need to
Late
take care of
night
those things.
and getting up late, all that is
Yeah,
happening often. And
and obviously like not taking care of the body, not having the posture right, not
mm,
grounding. Like, you know, they don't ground anymore, no connection with nature. You're always in environments which are like synthetic, like AC and stuff, and you know, and everything is like that. You're more and more disconnected from it, and then you get more and more diseases, physical diseases,
right.
but then you get more and more psychological problems too alongside.
Mm,
And those psychological problems then reflect on the way you learn a science or you do anything. So that's why this chaos and confusion is there.
yeah.
If all the beings were disciplined and more clear and connected with nature, we won't have this problem which we are having in Jyotish right now.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's
a lot of comparison now. There's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
comparison. He's doing better, she's doing better, or I know better. In fact, that is also that I think has come a lot in Jyotish.
I mean, the thing is, it's mostly about people's views and things like that. People think that the more number of views you have on YouTube, the better it is, the more subscribers and more the numbers and more the that thing. That's more important. Okay, like, and that's why,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes. Absolutely.
that's. I mean, I don't even have a channel of my astrology channel myself. You
Yeah.
know, I never made one or anything like that.
You
So
should make
I'm not
one.
part of. I'm not part of this game or race which people have with each other right now. It's like a rat race of sorts where,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but it's nothing to do with that actually. Like, I mean, it's to do with your own discipline and your own learning. It's nothing to do with how many you might know a whole lot right now. You might not even get 10 views right
Sir,
now.
you know what? I opened this channel so that I can meet people like you. Honestly, I wanted to. If you will, if you will go and
Yeah,
check, my team will tell you how much I'm charging. It's not because of money. It is not. I want to, first of all, whatever I've learned, I want to teach, and I want to meet people like you. The gurus
yeah,
of
yeah,
my life.
yeah,
So
yeah,
where?
yeah,
How? This is the only
yeah,
way.
yeah. That's, I mean, that's good thing you're doing. I mean, that, I mean, finally, there has to be a forum where this information reaches people.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's
One
fine.
platform should be there. One common platform.
Platform should be there where people get the right knowledge, because there are a lot of platforms which will give wrong information,
Yes.
and they don't care. They
Yes.
just don't care. They'll reduce everything to such a level where for the views that they'll put the things into such level that that the whole science will be turned into absolute nonsense, but they don't care, because the whole fight is for views and these things and numbers,
Yeah.
which have nothing to do. I mean, just because there are 100,000 people going there doesn't mean that it's the right thing.
Right,
Okay,
right.
it's
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, or there are 1
Oh,
million
this
people going
this
there. That,
channel has more subscribers. This particular video has more views. Oh, this must be
yeah,
a good one. And it
yeah.
will
I
be
mean,
trash. Honestly, it will be a trash.
yeah, because the point is that people they sensationalize things, and if somebody gives them very simple, fast, quick thing, okay, first Lord and third, this, second Lord and fifth, this. So then people want to hear that and quickly apply that and just get to a quick thing when none of that actually works.
Mm.
I can tell you very clearly, none of that will ever work like that. Those kind of generalizations were never there in Jyotish, you know, and they have been added later, and it does not work like that, you know. It's not like if your third lord is in 12th that
Mm.
your brother is going to die or quickly or
Yeah.
or
True, 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 yeah.
or
Yeah,
your siblings will have losses and
people like
yeah,
you are so
yeah,
rare, so few.
yeah,
Actually, you have that. I can sense from whatever you're saying that you have that passion for that subject mainly.
yeah,
You have the
yeah, yeah,
passion, and you
yeah,
are well connected. I've seen your pictures on the Instagram also. I'm
yeah,
following you,
yeah,
so there also I see how well you are connected with the nature. So you
Yes.
are actually an inspiration for the youth, for the people like us. In fact,
Yeah.
though we are in the same age group, but like obviously, we want to connect with nature even more at this age, especially. But it is the preliminary stage, we should be doing
Yes.
if we are going into this vidya. If you want
Yes.
to really
Yeah.
dive deep into this. So this is
Yes.
something,
Yes.
very rarely people will impart, they will not, why, I should tell them to do this. Why?
Yes.
I'm making money myself. I'm publishing books. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Enough.
Yes. Yes. I mean, the point is you can do all of that and you can get a whole lot of negative karma, which you need a lot of lives to pay those negative karma back afterwards. So you are accruing a lot of negative karma. You can get something in this world right now, quickly, temporarily, right now. But even that won't be of much use,
I
you know.
I
Yeah. So that is the main thing. People just forget that kind of thing. That what is gonna and how can a Jyotishi forget about future? Okay.
Yes.
That,
Yes.
yeah, that should be the first thing in their mind. What the future is for their own self.
Yeah.
Forget about for somebody else.
Any misdeed, any even
Yeah.
thought,
Yeah.
which is not
Yeah.
a pious thought. I feel will lead to
Yeah.
that, and how can people even think negative?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
feel
mean,
use.
this is Karma Bhumi. This particular plane is Karma Bhumi. So thankfully, here only things happen when you put things into action. Thought is not seen as an action. Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you put something into action, no matter how many thoughts come to you, that's okay. As long as you don't act on them. Okay.
No,
so
people are
so this,
acting also. That is what
yeah,
so,
yeah, because it's Karma Bhumi. Out here only action counts.
right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
so this is the plane of karma. So like only the action counts. So people have to be very conscious of their action. And that's exactly the point. For little gain right now, you can't sacrifice
Right.
your future as a whole. And that's the thing people need to understand. And if more people start connecting with nature, I think a lot of the problem will be solved. And people have to understand that this science is science of rishis. Now the rishis are very knowledgeable beings. Those beings can actually create planes like this. They can create earth, they can create ecosystems, they can create. So their knowledge is very vast and very, it's the science of those kind of beings.
Yes.
It is not just a science
Creation,
of,
basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they can actually create another plane of existence like this, these
Yes.
beings. And
Yes.
they can create bigger planes of existence. They can create any kind of thing. So it's the knowledge of those kind of people. It's not it's not a joke kind of thing which people think it is, like just for here, like whether I'll get a job or not get a job, or it's not
Right.
at that level. Okay. It's not,
And it's not
that's
confined to that level, it's not
yeah,
confined
yeah,
to
yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
way beyond, and it's much bigger, than
Yeah.
that.
And people say like, Lou, use astrology now, whether I can marry or not marry or whatever. I mean, point is, if you want to marry, you marry. Like
Exactly.
like chart is not going to stop you in that. Like you can, but what is going to happen afterwards, what the fighting will be or what happens, that you have to live through. That's up to you. It's your decision. You're
So
gonna.
how do you sir, like
Yeah.
sorry again, I just
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
offbeat, but how do you read the chart? Like, what is your or you want it to be another video on this topic or whatever, like if you want to answer this
Yeah, we can do another one on this. For me, first, like these things don't matter. The way I am, like the most of the things out here do not matter anyways.
right.
But but the point is that that is a rishi perspective on things. But normal people are very concerned about little things out here. Okay, but chart can tell you those too. It's not that it can't. Normal people are more concerned about little things like what happens here or not. Like that's their concern. But even that, there is a lot of choice because energy is there.
Right.
Graha has energy. Now you can use the energy any which way you want. It's not, that is up to you. So two people with the same sort of energy will use that energy differently by their choice.
True.
So it's not necessary like if you have a 7th house thing happening that you will marry it only. You can deal with more people.
Right.
Actually.
Right.
Because 7th house is not just marriage. 7th house is like 7th house is dealing with anyone.
Right.
Your first house is yourself. Your 7th house is whenever you deal with any other being.
Yeah.
That is seventh house.
True.
Seventh house doesn't mean that this one particular being called wife or husband, which you
Mm.
deal with.
Yeah.
Seventh house means, that's why it's called business partnerships or whatever. But now people say, okay, business partnerships. It's not just business partnerships. It's any person you deal with.
Yes. Yes.
Any being you deal with anytime other than yourself.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that thing directly. And is seventh house.
Right.
So, so,
Absolutely.
so people have to change the whole concept of, because once you reduce something to just one thing, which it is not,
Hmm.
even like if you're a boxer, two boxers are in a ring. Okay. So the boxer which is on your other opposite side is your seventh house.
Hmm. True.
Okay. It's not your sixth house. It's not your enemy.
No.
People think it's the enemy, but it's not. But it's actually your seventh house. Anything is standing in front of you, right in front of you. Like right now, you're taking my interview. Then that's seventh house.
Yes.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
so everything is like seventh house. Okay. So people don't understand. Like now you can use that energy in various ways.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
True.
so people have made it in this marriage or business partnership only,
Hmm.
but that's not what it is. Okay. So the whole definitions of different houses and that things have to change. I'm just giving an example here, like just
Yeah.
little example,
Hmm.
so that people know that like, okay, seventh house doesn't only mean marriage, like, okay,
Hmm.
because that's the general view
It's yeah.
around it.
It is
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's all because distorted,
yeah,
miscommunicated, and in the
yeah,
books also, which books they should read, which books they should not read. All that
yes,
information needs to be conveyed. Actually,
yeah,
we are not.
yeah,
I'm not saying that we are like you are just trying to uh, project that all this more or something, but you are saying the facts. Actually, you're sharing the facts. It's a
yeah,
serious,
basics.
it's a serious
They're basic
matter.
facts. These are basic facts. I'm just
These are the
talking basic facts. It's
basic
not nothing to do with, just like a tree is a tree, leaf is a leaf,
facts.
like tree has
Exactly.
branches, branches has leaves, and things like that. I'm talking like on that basic level.
And,
Okay.
and I think people should wake up and
Yeah,
the ones who are really wanting to learn astrology, they should get into this discipline of learning first, the
yeah,
basics. That
yeah,
is what
basics.
we all must
Yeah, and everyone should have this thing. Okay, I am this thing. I'm that being, or I'm at this level, and I need to evolve from this level. I want to do the right thing. All these things have to be there first. Jyotish comes later.
later. Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah, because
okay,
when there is no discipline, when there is no
yeah,
there is that discipline will lead to everything else
yes,
in
yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah, and that too, you want to evolve. You want to become better. You want to become a better being. You want to become a better human being. You want to evolve.
Right.
So if
Mm.
you don't want to evolve, why are you learning Jyotish anyways?
True. No. There
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
one.
yeah,
Nowadays, the focus is just one, to make
yeah,
quick money out of because
yeah,
yeah, astrologers are the in thing these days.
yeah,
People
yeah,
think
yeah,
we
yeah,
are in trouble. We should
and
go to seek
to
advice. That,
advise, and they want the astrologer to tell them, no, okay, your bad time is done, now you'll be great. That's what
mm,
they want to hear.
yeah.
And there are a lot of people who psychologically know that this is what the person wants to hear, so they
Hmm.
will tell them that.
Yeah. Or
They
they'll
will
give
tell them,
remedies.
okay,
Or they'll give
yeah,
remedies. You do
or
this.
they'll give, or they'll say like, yeah, if you do, okay, if you buy this stone for that thing, or do this that thing from, and like, like, and then that thing will happen. And stones and stuff, for example, stone obviously like is an amplifier. People don't know that stone is an amplifier.
Yes.
Okay, now when you amplify, you amplify the music.
Yes.
The whole sound becomes louder,
Hmm.
basically. So that graha will become louder as a whole.
Yes.
Okay, but when it becomes louder, then it will give whatever negative it is giving also louder.
Yes. Yes. And all
And
the
no graha
grahas, sir,
can be
all the
ever
grahas,
100%.
people may misunderstand this, that all the grahas will give positive and negative both. All the grahas.
Yes, yeah, most likely. There are few grahas obviously in certain charts which are positive mostly, like 99 to 95%. But that's very rare. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, and that can,
That's
yeah,
not,
yeah,
that's not,
yeah,
I've yet to see that kind of a chart,
yeah,
I know
yeah, yeah,
Kendras and trines, okay, fine, occupied by benefics is going to give long life and stuff, but
yeah,
still they have
yeah,
something which,
yeah, yeah,
maybe they're
yeah,
functional malefics or something
yeah,
is there, which is,
yeah. But yeah, obviously you can give, and those stones only work for the time when the dashas are in operation.
yes.
If you give stones to people when their dasha is not even operating, that doesn't make any sense at all. But
Exactly.
people do that because maybe they have that gemstone business is their business only. So then they give all the stones, whatever stone, doesn't matter what happens to the person.
Yeah,
Give
6,
them
8, 12, I don't know what to say.
yeah, give them all the stones of everything. Like doesn't matter what happens to them.
Yeah.
It's actually not caring for them and caring for your own profit and that thing. And this is a wrong way of and it's accruing negative karma. So I think that is the most important thing I wanted to use your platform for saying to
This was
people.
awesome, actually. This
Yeah,
this
yeah,
topic actually needed to be touched and what needed to be
yeah,
conveyed, actually. Because
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think so anybody has this kind of guts to speak about our Vidya, so firmly.
and
Also,
and people should get away from all these kind of things. Wherever people say, okay, this thing is going into this transit, then this is going to happen for this.
hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
like if Jupiter has gone into Sagittarius, then for Leo this will happen, Virgo this will happen, Libra this will happen, and that too they don't specify moon sign, ascendant, sun. What are they talking about?
hmm, hmm,
Like
hmm.
sometimes they do specify it's for moon sign. This is happening,
Yes.
but okay. So like let's say like 1 in a 12 person, every 1 in 12 person will have moon in that sign.
Yeah.
So Jupiter goes. Let's say if somebody's moon is Leo, okay, and there are 1 in 12 people on the earth who have moon in Leo. Now Jupiter has gone into Sag, so it'll go into fifth house for all these people. Okay,
Hmm.
so now we won't have the same result for every one of these
General.
person. Like how can you give generalized result for all these people? And Jyotish says that dasha is much more important. We have
Hmm.
a timing system called dasha. So
Yes.
whatever dasha will be happening, that's much more important. Transits are not that important anyways. Okay,
No, not at
so
all.
so anytime people see these kind of videos and channels and that thing, they should automatically know that this is nonsense. Okay, they
Yes.
should use some sense to
Yes.
understand that how this is nonsense. Okay, okay, because this just cannot work. This is not possible, and like this is just like that your moon sign is this now. Saturn is gone there, this will happen for you. This is just not the
Yeah, this
way
is
anything
all
is going.
actually very general. People want to hear the forecast.
Yeah,
I also do
yeah,
that. But
yeah,
that the disclaimer in the beginning is that if you are running through the dasha of the same, you have to get your horoscope checked by an astrologer. If you really want to, please do not fall prey to these predictions. These are all
yeah,
generic predictions. This is
yeah.
my disclaimer. And it,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. You're giving that discrimination. That's fine. But
it
what I'm saying is, people are saying that these things are going to happen, and they don't give anything. They just say like this is, and people take these things literally.
hmm,
There's so many people around the world who take these things literally, and but people have to understand this is not how Jyotish works. Jyotish first has its own dasha system for a reason.
right.
It's not like Western astrology, which has only transits.
Right.
Okay, like I mean, Vedic astrology has a very specific dasha system which goes down to 5 levels. There's a dasha, then mahadasha, there's antar, then pratyantar, then sukshma pratyantar. So it goes down to 4 5 levels. Like you can come down to one day. You know,
True, true, true.
yeah,
So
yeah,
true.
yeah. So I'm not saying the transits don't have any that thing they have, but that is like 20-30% effect maximum.
Hmm.
Okay. And that too like in relation to your chart, which is very different, like if your Saturn is at exact degree, at that degree Saturn comes in something, some
Yeah.
timing of event you can do, it's you right exactly to your moon. And
Hmm.
like Saturn comes to your moon doesn't mean that you will have some bad
Sade sati. Okay.
or some bad result or something.
People will talk about
Yeah,
Mangal Dosh and Sade Sati like, oh God, now I'm
yeah,
doomed.
yeah, yeah. Saturn is just a reality, and that thing, something practical can happen for you actually.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Change of
it's
place,
nothing.
your work.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But if somebody wants to stay in a mental castle only, and then that castle will get broken in that Saturn. So then they can consider that bad, like, you know.
Yes.
But it's
Oh,
nothing
this
bad
Saturn
about it.
did this. Saturn
Yeah.
is bad.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that leads to that.
Yes. And all this finger pointing at grass should stop. All grass are good, and all grass are there for a purpose, and all grass and all this finger pointing and stuff should stop
Oh,
for their
I
own good.
say this every time.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
beginning, please don't say anything to my grass. These are my grass, as if, I'm so possessive about my grass. I say,
Yeah.
don't speak negative about any grass. That is
Yeah. No, I mean, grass are just doing their job. There are specific energy conduits. There are specific energy conduits, and it's not their fault. Okay.
true. True.
Anything. Okay. Even the birth chart reactions you get from your past life karmas accrued only. Is grass are transmitters, and they have a certain job to do. They are not the ones to blame. Okay. So all this blame game has to stop. So then Jyotish, a lot of new things have to be corrected. And I think this talk we have done will help some people get some idea of what to avoid,
Absolutely. Absolutely. It
what to
will.
avoid, and how to start with the science, how to treat it with respect, and how to,
No,
like,
no, this is an eye-opener discussion,
yeah,
knowledge that you have
yeah,
imparted. So this is an eye-opener for many.
yeah. Yes, Vanita, it's very nice for now. And
Yeah,
I'll
thank you.
see you another time, and we'll discuss
Yes,
something more.
please, we'll wait for the comments. If there is any topic that you want Prashant sir to speak on, you're
Yeah,
most welcome. You can
yeah,
hear him talk on my channel often. I wish
yeah.
and pray that he accepts my invite in future also.
Yes, yes,
And he's
yes,
here most of the times. I hope he likes my channel also. And
yes,
I wish and pray that he's here back. And please, thank you so much, all of you, for watching. And thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And stay blessed, everyone. Om Tat Sat.